Hello everybody, welcome to episode 3 of our Tranmere Rovers Road to Glory. Super exciting episode ahead as we start season 2 today, but also we get a lot of signings and some departures happening to start off the new year. You're going to see really quickly by the signings that we kind of got power hungry with some of the money we were given this coming season, and we're kind of like, we need to revamp this team a little bit if we want to compete in League One. So let's dive right into it and tell about who's in and who's out. Well, we'll start with the short list of who's out. Striker Davison signed a contract at the end of last season with another team, so he is out. Dane Scarlett was on loan with us from Tottenham last season. Played very well for us. Unfortunately, he goes back to Tottenham and will flourish there. We did have a swap deal at one point, so I will come back to that one when we talk about who we brought in with that swap deal. And then we did have our right back, Peter Brogue. He left age-wise, and we had enough right backs where we weren't going to need to bring him in. So we were kind of ready to move on from that. We did have 4 departures. We'll get to the 4th one here in a bit. But to bring in, we brought in 2 center backs, Gaber and Negru. They came in, they're going to be our starters at center back. Very crucial because our center backs that we had in at the time were on the older end. They were good, but also they were on the older end. They were slower. We need a little bit of more pace at the back in case they get caught out. So Gaber and Negru came in at 66, 65 rated and took those spots handedly. And then we need to figure out who's going to play striker for us, because obviously Dane Scarlett's out, Davison's out, and Ironside is our only guy left really, and he's regressing rating-wise, so we needed to bring in someone. So we signed a free agent, Pasquale, as a striker, and Argentinian, and he will be our main starter up front, which was crucial. It was really great to be able to bring him in for a decent amount, so we brought him in. Super excited for that. Here's our swap deal. A right winger, Akeem Peters. We swapped him with Dominic Park because Dominic Park wanted to leave the club. Apparently, when I re-signed his contract, it didn't go through the system correctly, so he wanted to leave. He was going to be one of our starter center backs, but we're like, all right, we got to go sign 2 center backs now because one of them's already wanting to leave. So that sucked that the game did that to us, but we're gonna move on and we're gonna be successful. So he is a right winger, but he's going to play as a striker. He's going to be a backup for Pasquale in the striker role. And then we got a right winger that will play right wing, Luke Brennan. He will play right behind Gouda, who we brought in last January. So we're kind of trying to fill in spots to kind of have some backups that we didn't have last year. At center mid, we had Courtier and Fofana that came in. They're going to be starting. They're kind of taking over the roles of what McKenna and O'Connor were doing. So they're taking up their places. Excited for them to take over and have a little more pace again. And then we have a lot of left backs, it says here, but they're not all going to be playing left back. Lim, Ferrari, and Proctor. All 3 of them, I believe, were free agent signings. Lim, I am working on trying to drag him into being a center back, so we're getting his position changed and trying to make it a center back position, and he'll be a backup to Gaber and Negru. Proctor, we were trying to make him into a center back backup, but then I saw that he already had right back as one of his positions, so I'm like, he's going to progress way faster playing right back, and he had the pace for it, so we put him and worked on trying to trade him into being a right back, so he will be behind McGowan and trying to fill in that spot. And then Ferrari will play left back. He will be our main starter. He was 72 rated in the free agency. A little costly on the budget side for his contract, a lot higher than all the players on our team. So we had to do a little work and pay him extra, of course. And as we will see throughout the season, more players are going to start demanding more money and better contracts because of Ferrari getting a pretty handful more than everyone else. So that is our signings and departures to start the new season. It's a lot on one side than the other, but honestly, it comes in handy with the amount of games we're going to have midweek, so it was good to get a head start on who is going to play where. So let's hop into our first game. It wasn't the first game of the season, but it was one of our first playing games, and it was against Swansea, of course, so let's hop into that game. Alrighty, here's our first game against Swansea. It was a good starting game against... we started out well against Swansea, our first kind of competition in a weird way against a former Premier League team. We started with an early goal. Just a good start. Not much more to say, but Swansea, of course, started showing their former Premier League side in the second half, and this is where it kind of gets goal heavy. Swansea gets a good tie there, which is kind of unfortunate for us, and it just kind of seemed like from there that they might just start banging it up on us, but then we get one back with Pasquale. He gets a good run in there and goes up 2-1. It kind of is a bounce back and forth game, really. They score, and then we hold on to it pretty good, and then they would go score. And then this is kind of where Swansea kind of took off after the 70th minute. They kind of go unanswered for a couple goals on us, and that kind of, again, we started off a little slow in the league. We didn't really get a good start right away. I don't know if it was just a tough start against some of these teams, but it just seemed like we couldn't draw the correct end that we needed, and it just didn't go our way well to start out our first couple games. But then we had two good games coming up here against Barnet, I believe. Good bounce back game, kind of more against a team at our level, where we get a good goal again with Pasquale, and Pasquale kind of starts to show very early on that he is the man to have. We signed the player we needed. A great signing, and it showed a lot this first half of the season, as you guys are going to get to see, that it just came in handy, and Patrick keeps doing what he's doing at the age of 30, that he can still be an amazing winger for us, which is great to see. Then we have, I think this is Bolton, if I believe correctly, but again, not much happened. We had one good early start against this team. We had one quick goal here with Patrick, and that was it for that game. One quick goal at the beginning at home, and we just moved on quickly to the next one. 3-0 basically against the last two teams. Did not let in a goal for 2 games. And then we had Salford, a team that's going to be kind of battling for the top against us. They came out flying. Had a nice little start to the game. I don't know if my defending was off at this point, but I was struggling to defend against this team. Weight was not saving anything, so that was not making it easy on us, and we had to fight back pretty quickly. A light switch snapped because we bounced back, and Pasquale puts one in the corner there at a very difficult angle, which was just amazing to see from him. And then in the 65th minute, around the time we're going to start making changes to the team, Collier in the box with the ball, and then Pasquale just has it again and gets it over to, I think that's Brennan this time. I think Brennan was playing at this point. Yes, he was. He got his first goal for the club, I believe. So it was a good off-the-bench moment for him. And then Stevens, this game was kind of an uplifter, I believe, a little bit for us. We started off well again. Just starting where we left off with the quick goals, and started again with another quick start here against Stevenson, and it was a great start, but they would go back towards the end of the half and tie it up very rapidly quick. Unfortunately, in a very awkward way where you just don't think it should have happened, but they tied it up. But then right before the halftime, we get a nice little cheeky attack here, and Pasquale is able to get through the defenders and get a goal in before the half, which was very, very helpful. Brought the life back to the home side, and then that lasted almost halfway through the second half, and then they got a great over the top of our defense, and it just opened everything wide open for them and got a goal to tie it up. Not the way we wanted that to go, but it is how it goes sometimes. and it doesn't seem like it was going to end any better for us, but we did get a nice little good defense by the squad there. Pasquale has it, passes over to O'Connor, passes to Collier, and Collier gets a injury time goal to seal it 3-2 for us. Really amazing to see from the squad battling all the way through, but finally we get a goal where the other team will not be able to get one afterwards. And then we start our little rivalry with Plymouth this game. I believe this was the Virtue Cup, where this kind of shows that our rivalry with Plymouth begins. It was going to be a hard-working season against them, and this Virtue Cup showed it very quickly that we were going to have to play pretty good against them. We did not get off to a hot start, but Pasquale jumps right back in for us and gets a goal to tie it right back up after they scored. And we try to run with that momentum. Try to run with that momentum a little bit better, and off of a corner kick, we get another goal. Brennan gets another goal for himself in this game, and we go 3-1 up. I think I must have missed a goal editing this, but we're up 3-1, and all of a sudden Plymouth starts to kind of come back a little bit. They get one back there against us in the 79th minute. A little worrying. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game here. I think I'm thinking of the wrong game here. I think this was one of our... I'm thinking of the wrong game. This was our league game against them. We did win 4-2. I'm mixing up the two games. I thought this is where our rivalry started, but I think it's the next game, honestly, where our rivalry will start. But the Plymouth does go on to score and make it 4-3 at the very end of the game. But I thought this was the other game. I thought this was the Virtue Cup game where it gets a little interesting, but we will be saving that for later. And then we had Chesterfield. Early start again against this team. Really nice start. Amazing style to get it rolling. Love it. It doesn't last the half though. They get to about the 31st minute. Had a corner kick. Got a stupid rebound goal. The one thing I hate in this game is rebound goals, and we got one against us there. And then they just seem to just kind of carry off with it. Not even 6 minutes later, and they get another one on us. Just crappy defending once again on my part. And 43rd minute, we're like, nope, you're not getting another corner on us. We're going to just take care of your defense that's not there. And Pasquale was able to go all the way down and get a goal before the half. And then early in the second half, they got a really nice pass in and went up 3-2. And I think everyone kind of knows where that goes. They win it, and that just hurt us, just not being able to get a goal in the last half. Which then brings us to a very unfortunate moment between two of our players. Lim started getting homesick. That moment popped up for us. Feeling homesick, he's struggling with the adjustment. He was asking if he could go away to home for a little while. We did have a week off, so I was like, go take some time off, dude. We have the time. You can go do that. No worries. But then Fofana, very shortly later, same thing, homesick. Boss, can I go home for a little while? I felt bad doing this to him, but I said, you need to focus. Stay here, focus on your game, you'll be fine. I was a little worried about selecting such a position for him, but it ended up working out very well in our way. But now we have our FA Cup game, and thankfully Gouda gets a nice goal to start us off in our first FA Cup game. I think this might have been round 1 or round 2. I think this was round 2 this year. I think we got the start in round 2 this year. So we got to play against a former League 2 side. So that was nice, but we showed we were meant for League 1 because we handled Sherrisfield very, very well in this game. Just kept piling up the goals, especially after the 60th minute. Just started racking up the goals a little bit, just stealing the ball away from them. They weren't really doing well on keeping it, and we just kept going back down on the little counterattacks and just putting it in the back of the net on them. And I believe we end up winning 4-0 in this one. Now we get to the game that I thought it was what it was. This is our second game against Plymouth, and this one is in the Virtue Cup, and it's going to be just like you thought. We won 4-3 the last time. They get off to the start of 1-0 in the 54th minute. They scored the first goal of the game. We bounced back in the 84th minute to score and tie it up. It was super exciting where we thought, let's get another one before this game ends because we do not want to keep this going. Did not happen. We had to go straight to penalties after the 90th minute. Pasquale puts it almost down the middle and gets a nice little goal there. Now it's up to Waite to save this one, and they go right down the middle, so he does not save it. And then it's up to Gouda next to put it in the back of the net. Silent Killer just puts it in the middle right, very nicely, untouchable. And then they put it in the bottom left corner, and Waite goes the wrong way. Collier's got the next shot. He goes top right. They didn't have a chance. He tried to go the wrong way, and this is where we needed a save from Waite, hopefully, because we did guess correctly. They were going to go left, and they went left. So that was a good guess by Waite. Unfortunately, though, we had a miss by one of our players. Cordier missed. So that was very sad because they just went right down the middle on us, and I was like, this is not how this ends. Please don't end like this. Oh, Cordier puts it in the back of the net now. I think the last guy was Fofana, so Cordier puts it in the back of the net. We need a save here. And before he even kicks, Waite had it guessed which way he was going to go. And we win the penalty shootout against Plymouth to move on to the next round of the Virtue Cup. This game kind of gave us a feeling that we might be able to make a run this year in this cup, as last year we did not make one at all. Which then brings us to our next game, trying to see how can we do. Can we keep the run of form going to end off the roughly end half of this first of the fall? And we get to the 37th minute, and we do get a good, nice little attack, and Pasquale gets another good goal for us before the end of the half. Looks like we kind of got a bounce of a 1-2 right away off of that first goal. And we're going to get another little chance here from Fofana. And a nice little cheeky goal line pass up to Collier, and a 2-0 lead before the half. And then all the way in the 78th minute, you guessed it, the enemy goes down, and before the 80th minute goes and gets a nice little goal, which was not what we wanted. But thankfully, we did try to get down to the other side to stop them, but they did take an unfortunate... They did get a good interception when they should not have gotten an interception. So that was very unfortunate, and they got a insane header off of this corner kick and tied it up 2-2 to tie that game. And then we had our first game against Reading. This was our first game against Reading, where we had to go up against Park, who left us and wanted to join Reading. So, well, didn't want to join them. We put him in the trade for him. So we did take the lead against them in the snow at our home field, which was really fun. Felt really good. And then they got a nice little bounce back here in our own box, unfortunately, and tied it up before the half. And then all the way down in the 63rd minute, we get a nice little attack here. We try to get a nice little attack, and then they went all the way down to their end and tried to score on their end, and it didn't quite work out well. And we go back down to the other end and get a nice little pass into Collier, and Collier gets a nice goal to go up 2-1 in the 70th minute, which then brings us to the 89th minute, where the attack from the opponent was going really well, where I was a little worried, are we going to be able to keep the lead? And thankfully, we were able to get a securing goal in injury time to make it 3-1 against Reading, to prove to Park that he was making a mistake, that he should have probably just realized that he did have a new contract in his inbox, and that he signed something, but you know, that happens. And Park left and he went to Reading, and that's the story. So first half of the season is over with. We are in second. We're in second in the League One, right behind Huddersfield by 2 points. Bolton is only behind us by a point. Plymouth is behind by 2 points. So The playoffs were pretty well secured at this point for a playoff run, if that is the case. But halfway through the season, automatic promotions looking kind of nice. So good, nice little spot. It was a very busy first episode for us. Very busy, so it was really nice to kind of look and see that we were able to get ahead on everything. But yeah, we played well. We played well for most of those games, as you saw, and we had some good cup runs, and we're going to be exciting to see how the end of this coming season goes. It's going to be exciting to see how it ends. I can't wait. Can't wait to get that going and see how it ends. So yeah, just a lot of signings, a couple departures, a couple good league table. So, subscribe to the YouTube, go to our Twitch and follow. We do stream on both Twitch and YouTube. So if you don't want to watch ads and deal with all the crap that Twitch shows, we do stream it on YouTube at the same time. So you can go back and watch those streams. They're very quiet. There's no music playing. Thanks DMCA for your wonderful rules in this world. But so that one's always silent. You just hear gameplay and me. So if you want to watch the full length of those episodes and see the very details of them, you can go watch those on YouTube and watch the live stream on Twitch and on YouTube, and watch any other clips that I make from other games that I play too on Twitch. They're not just FIFA ones. I do play other games, so we sometimes have some clips on YouTube to post too. So go follow both, and watch it live when it happens and get the live reactions, because I can tell you, I've said a few words in some of these episodes that you guys don't get to see with these voiceovers. That kind of makes it funny on kind of how my emotions go at some points in these games. So if you ever want to hear what the live reaction was to some of these games, well, subscribe and go watch them, because they have the emotion gets big at times. Emotion gets very wild at times, so very worth watching. But thanks everyone for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Stay tuned for episode 4 for the second half of season 2, and don't go changing. Peace.